So this is a copyright disclaimer. I don't own any of the copyrighted music. Anything in this video that has been copyrighted by Ubisoft and corporation, company, whatever Ubisoft owns. I don't own any materials played in the video. I don't know if this is going to cover me from strikes, but it hasn't in the past. So thank you very much for watching this video. You're the reason why I make videos. I don't know. Hi, this is Manhunter X8000, and sorry for the audio, the vocal quality of my audio. It's earbuds. I'm doing this a little bit later than I should be. I'm going to do a different kind of review. I'm so label this as lazy review because I'm too lazy to come up with a different name. So this is Assassin's Creed Syndicate, and the whole point of the game is you're an assassin, and you're not supposed to go to London, but you do it anyways. So Dame Evie Fry and Sir Jacob Fry, they go to London. I'll get to why they're called what they're called now in a little bit. By the way, there are spoilers in this review, big time, and the reason why I'm doing a little bit more serious is because Ubisoft games need criticism, big time, because then they become better. Like Unity to Syndicate is way better than Unity, by my opinion. So let's start with some gameplay and then go to story and my opinion on the game. Is the game's mechanics fun? Does it get old after a little bit? Yes. That's basically all of that. So if you liked Unity's dynamic kind of hold two buttons and you climb and descend from rooftops, you're like this. Is this the game that fixes the problem where I want to go to that ledge, but we want to go inside a window? No, but they do fix the window problem. As well, not entirely, but they do fix a lot of the problems I had with the Unity, whereas I wanted to go in a window, it wouldn't let me. In this game, there's actually a button prompt to tell you L1, climb in the window, which is nice. Climbing in general, it's fun. It's dynamic. I wish that there was a kind of like picturesque type look to it, but I also wish that it stayed the same, because city's nice to look at after a little bit, after you get used to it. Now I have 100% the game. I'm not 100%, sorry. Let's look. I have 81 total synchronization in this game, and I believe that that's a good basis to start talking about the game. So, what is something that needs to be fixed in this game? Where am I looking for? Belts. Oh yeah, Jacob. What needs to be fixed? What needs to be fixed? There are a few things that absolutely need to be fixed. Like, first things first, this one right here. Whenever you're on a train, it shouldn't be the most awkward thing to get off the train. That's the thing I'm having big problems with in this game. Oh, besides that, the trains are fantastic. I love them. I never usually ride on them because they're too slow, and whenever I do ride on them, it's an occasion that should be celebrated. Inventory system. It's straight out of Unity, actually. You can buy anything on the go. You can do anything on the go. Let's just, there is new stuff in the game. There is. But there's also old stuff that makes a return. Like this crap right here. Oh, find everything to get the good stuff. Oh. And there's stuff like that. Wait. Oh. Okay, but there's also like craftable stuff that actually is good. So like this, I have the outfit I was wearing on Evie just 20 seconds ago. Actually, not even 20 seconds ago. That was Ravana's armor. And it's like, I'm fairly sure it's some of the most powerful equipment in the entire game. I would say so, at least. So, let's talk about a little bit more. So combat. Imagine Batman Arkham Knight, but a little bit more brutal. That's this game. I don't know what I'm trying to do right now. I'm just going over everything, because, see, the problem is with this game is, it's just like every other Assassin's Creed. The second that last, sorry, that was a really bad, like, snap. Whenever the story ends, I just feel like it shouldn't have ended yet. I feel as if they should have, like, gone on a little bit longer. But then again, I also have every borough done. Yeah. Like, I was done every borough before I even hit sequence 8. In fact, I'll show you which sequence I was on. I was on sequence 4. I was on sequence 4 by the time I had all the boroughs done. But that's just me. You don't have to do any of this stuff. It's just, I wanted my character to level up. I was level 10 by the time I was supposed to be doing sequence 5. I had all the good stuff. Not all the good stuff, because you unlock a lot of that later on. So I'm going to talk about endgame and gameplay, because it's a pretty big part of gameplay. So if the endgame for any game sucks, that immediately drops the longevity of a game. And it's really sad to see games like The Division, which have the possibility to be fantastic games, right, when they drop immensely. How much money is this even? I don't want that. So, like, how do you increase longevity for a game like this? Well, add meaningful stories. So stuff like Jack the Ripper, sorry. I call him Jack the Ripper, I don't know why. That's a fantastic story. And I really want to play that because I saw the trailer for it, because I was like, how am I going to increase my gameplay? You know, I'll spend the $20 on it. Basically, I was kind of series, like it's Jacob who's doing this stuff, but then again, Jacob wouldn't do that. So, it's also, you have that name Jack, which isn't meaning anything. So. But no, anyways. So combat, if you like Arkham Knight, and it's like free flow combat, so like, let me try to get into a fight. These guys over here. Should I get everyone into a fight? I'll show you the combat. I do this really quickly because of my skills in this game. Oh god, I don't have time.
I see someone.
Come on. Okay, this is like the less serious part. Come on. We'll fight up here. So, yeah, he wasn't very smart. So this is basically, it's just counter attack, knife, stun, so I killed him. Yeah, I'll show you the stun, and execute. Yeah, there's a lot of really cool stuff you can do in this game. But, they don't really emphasize that kind of stuff. Now, the leveling system in this game is kind of broken. They don't tell you how much of one thing you need. They just go, here you go. Which is kind of annoying. So that's one thing I don't like about the game, is the leveling system. Although it's better than some games, like Unity, because at least you know you're going to level up. Because of the equipment, and there was a really bad leveling system at one point in the game, in Unity, sorry, where you became like legendary rating or whatever. That was broken because, see, I was legendary, update happened, and I was normal. 5-star, whatever, yeah. Wasn't very happy. So, what's next? I can make this sweet and simple, or I can make this long. Graphics. Let's put that into gameplay. This is a nice looking game. The city is very stylized in certain areas. It's poorer, richer, and buildings actually vary heights because of that. So like the richer areas have like just taller buildings, and you can actually see and notice the difference if you play the game long enough. And the poor areas, they're broken down. A lot of buildings you can enter then. What was I going to talk about? Memorizing the city. I keep trying to snap, I'm sorry. Memorization of streets and signs and all that stuff. I can't do that for this game. Some games I could, some games I can't. This is one of those games where it's not intriguing enough for me to be able to do that. There's not like a bunch of landmarks like there was in like there was in Assassin's Creed 2 or even Brotherhood for that matter. Even Assassin's Creed 3, there were a bunch of landmarks that I could follow. I didn't need a mini-map. I didn't need any of that. It's like GTA 5 thing. I can probably... How am I supposed to get you? Anyways. So I can't memorize this game's street levels. I can't memorize underground levels. I can't do any of that stuff because it's not memorable enough for me to do that. Ways you do that, you make colors, you make statues, you make stuff like that, but it's in this game. That stuff is in the game, and I'm really sad to say it, but you don't memorize any of that stuff in this game. At least I don't. Like, I used to be really good with this stuff. I used to, like, memorize where everything was in the map. I used to memorize where the chest placements were whenever I restarted my game. I can't do that for this game. If I could, I would. I would have had 100% by the game I was done. Sorry, by the time I was done. Let's talk about the progression system. No, I already talked about that. The equipment system. Let's talk about that. You can have the most dull weapons when you go up against level 10s and you won't survive very long. That's perfectly fine. But if you get this good stuff and you hit a guy that's like 10 levels below you, it's an almost instant kill. That's fine. I like that. Because it allows you to see how far you've become. That's fine. I love that stuff in games. Like the Division, but it doesn't really happen in the Division. So, let's talk a little bit about what's happening on screen right now. I'm in a World War One, by the way, guys. Kind of like simulation type deal. So what's going on is I am Lydia Fry, Sir Jacob Fry's granddaughter. In the story section, like I said earlier, I will talk about that. So, what do? Well, you help Winston Churchill with London, the invasion of London. I don't know what's going on here. I didn't learn about this in history class. That's certain. That's fact. I did not learn about this in history class. I kind of wish I did. But we don't. We don't learn about this kind of stuff in history class. We learn about stuff about like Canada or the States or what they did. It's not as interesting to see when it comes to Assassin's Creed. Everyone's like, oh, it's good. You could learn a bunch of stuff by just playing these games. Like, when it came down to it, back when I was in grade 9 or so, and we were learning about 1812 and 1700s. Assassin's Creed, no, it was like grade 8. Anyways, Assassin's Creed 3 Crate helped me with that actually, because all these people that I didn't know of, I knew of then because of games like Assassin's Creed 3, which allowed me to learn these guys' names, like George Washington. I didn't really know who that was. But I can just say that Assassin's Creed helped me pass history at one point. And like, there are people who say that the game does not help you pass. There are people who say, like, teachers, who say the game helps through various ways, like having memorable characters. If it helps you remember who the guy is, like Queen Victoria, she's Queen of Britain. Well, of the United Kingdom, I should say instead, because yeah. Okay, so what am I doing right now? I'm killing Templars. Yeah. I'm killing Templars in World War I. That's pretty much all this is. So let's talk about story. Okay, so story missions, right? There is this kind of like checklist. Now, the way I've always seen it is this checklist is like what the character did to accomplish their goal. I'm perfectly fine with that. It's just an added like XP bonus or money, actually. Oh, God. I need to get all the collectibles because I love being in this World War I era because of recent news of Battlefield 1 being in this era. So I decided I'll pay a little attention to it, as I wasn't going to do it in this review. So, story. I already got into it. You're twins. Jacob, Evie Fry, Sir Jacob, Dame, Evie Fry. That's it. Those are the characters' names. And, all you know about them is they're twins. And this is the start of the game, right? All you know about them is they are twins, and they have different personalities. That's all you know about them. But you have to infer a lot. And Evie are one and the same, right? One is smart, tactical, goes over every inch of the plan, whereas the other one doesn't need a plan to take out people. And this is shown in the single-player campaign, which, by the way, there is no multiplayer, there is no co-op, which some games don't require, some games suffer from it. This is one of those games where I would have liked the addition of a co-op as of Evie and Jacob. Someone becomes Evie or Jacob, and I would have enjoyed that. I would have not used it because no one else on my friends list plays this game, but I would have been more than thrilled to try to find someone who does. So, let's get into more gritty details of the story, more meaty details. Is the campaign any good? Is this a story worth your time and effort to put in to kind of just look at? Is this story good enough for you to be able to? Does this story pull you in? Does this story do anything of the sort? For me, it didn't entirely. It's not a bad story, right? It's mediocre. That's the problem. Assassin's Creed. God. Let's talk about this first. The dog's name is Desmond, right? Okay, so Sean, who is one of the main characters of Assassin's Creed 3, he's actually a support character, sorry. Sean Penn, I believe it is. I'm sorry, I forgot that wrong. It was like best friends with Desmond, whatever. He was like kind of hating on him. And this dog's name is Desmond, right? And he talks about how he wasn't very happy. And this is right here, the top dialogue above the boxed off. I'm gonna say boxed off. Is basic that's Sean, not funny versus not funny at all. That's Sean. Jeez, and then that's Rebecca. Yeah. Let's talk about the model. That's disgusting. I don't like that. So, there's a story pulling me in. It did for me because I needed to do something. I was really like, oh yeah, what's the next thing? What's gonna happen? What's gonna happen? What's gonna happen? And it happened. Oh, that's so cool. Yeah. Like, you have to have like a childhood innocence to be able to be really interested by this, because there is a lot of talk of sibling rivalry. You need to have a brother, or even you don't even have to actually have a brother. All you have to do is know something about anything, really. Oh. Anyways, so like, if you want to get engaged with Evie and Jacob's kind of when they butt heads, right? You have to know a little bit about why they're butting heads. If you don't know why they're butting heads, you're not going to understand the entire story, actually. Because like I said earlier, Jacob, he just wants to get stuff done. I understand his point of view. And Evie, she wants to make sure she is not harming everyone in his wake. I understand. Is the story any good? I'm actually just going to say this flat out. Like I said, mediocre. Let's talk about the main villain, right? The main villain. You're supposed to hate him. You're supposed to hate the Templars. I don't hate the Templars. That's the problem. They were right in this game, which it scares me actually, because they are right. Actually, what happened? I'm sorry for repeating myself so many times. It's late. So the Templars in this game, they're right. I'm going to repeat myself, and I'm sorry for that, but they are. So So what happens is Jacob and Evie come out of nowhere and ruin the economy, right? The English currency actually drops. Like, people in Great Britain, basically, in this game, go broke. If there was a stock market way back when, it would have crashed worse than it did in the 1930s. Because, see, their dollar almost goes through the floor. I'm not even joking, that was actually a line that one of the Templars say. Okay, so Templars do some bad things that they shouldn't do, right? The only reason why you're killing Templars in this game is because they are labeled Templars. Right? That's it. If there were any other reason, it wouldn't make any sense. They are good for the economy, which is... It's really weird for me to say that out loud. I like these guys. I like them. Crawford Sterick, who is the main bad guy, by the way. I understand why he's doing what he's doing. A bad guy, right, is... Let me see if I can find his bio quickly. People. Enemies. Right here. He does stuff for no reason. He's a Joker. That's it. So that's what I thought. He does stuff for no reason. See, Crawford Sterick. He does things because they're good for everyone. They will benefit everyone. Whereas the Fry twins are destroying the London economy. Well, guess what? They're Templars. They have to die, right? No. No. And Evie even talks to Jacob about this kind of stuff, and this is the kind of sibling rivalry. And this is why I believe that they shouldn't have kind of taken that story route. But I don't want to get into that, because this would be like a 2-hour review. So let's get out of the story. I like the Templars, which is bad. You're not supposed to like the bad guys in the game. So let's get into stuff I like and stuff I don't like quickly. Something I don't like. How the lever system has been simplified so much. Climbing used to be a puzzle, now it's not. Now it's just simple run and jump. Does it feel like an Assassin's Creed game? Yes. People are saying it doesn't feel like an Assassin's Creed game. It does. You just have to play it properly. So if you say, oh, it doesn't feel like an Assassin's Creed game, don't use the zip line, don't use the carriages, go ahead, play the game. Oh, the game isn't fun now. That's because this stuff was added, because the bigger the environment, see, the longer it's going to take for you to run from one side to the other. So, something I absolutely adore about this game is Jacob and Evie, the twins. They are fantastic. In the beginning, Jacob is fairly funny. And he is throughout the entire thing. He's entertaining to watch and listen to. Evie is sort of like the grounded thing where Jacob is Kenway and Arno, whereas Evie is Ezio and Connor, the more serious assassins. Like, these two clashing themes where I just missed that entirely. The two clashing themes here are whether or not, like, assassins, obviously, they have to be planned, they have to know what's going to happen, but they can't plan every detail because they're going to miss their target. That's the whole point of having these two people go against each other, the twins butt heads. And the game does end on a high note, even though it promises, the twins promise that they're going to stop working together. They fall back on that. That's something I don't like. And to keep this review short and simple, I'm going to end it there, mainly because I have a copyright problem where I need to talk about that quickly. So, have a wonderful day, good night, good morning, good afternoon. This is Man. So, I'm very sorry for not going over this in the video, but Jacob and Evie Fry, the reason why they're named Dame Evie Fry and Sir Jacob Fry is because at the end of the game, after you kill Crawford Sterrick, what happens is the Queen of England, right, Queen Victoria, I believe it's the second, I hopefully got that right, I probably didn't. Basically what happens is she then knights both, the three people that are there, she knights Jacob, Henry Green, and Evie Fry. Actually, it's the other way around, but that doesn't matter. So what then happens is they have a conversation and they have a race to the train. That's the end of the game. Sadly, this ended on a high note, and what I really want to see is them make an improvement in further Assassin's Creed games when it comes to story, right? I don't want to feel empty inside. Whenever I watch or play a game like this, I want to feel something more than empty, right? I want to feel like everything was wrapped up nicely, because there were a few plot holes that I didn't enjoy, and I don't have enough time to go into all of them. I'm very sorry about that. I can only render 30 minutes, and this is already breaching 26 minutes. So, whenever you're watching this, good morning, good evening, good afternoon. Don't continue breathing, please. I'm sorry for killing like 25 brain cells. You probably dropped 20 IQ points from watching this, so I'm very sorry for that. Hopefully you can earn those back. I hear you earned some IQ points from learning an instrument and a language, so hopefully you're still smart enough to learn 2 of those. Thank you very much for watching this far. Good night, good morrow, whatever. I don't care anymore.